All right, let's get into it. So pre-market, pretty much like I said yesterday, for my pre-market plan video, we're dead smack in the middle of the range here. So hands off here. In between the previous day high, previous day low, we are dead smack in the middle of the range. There's really nothing here for me on this buy. Ideally, we'll level pull back long off this 664.55. So we'll see if we'll get that. Qs, dead smack, middle of the range. Obviously, I will be looking for a break and retest over the 607.15 or a pullback long off this 599.60. Ideally, I would prefer this pullback off this 599, but a break and retest over the 607.15 is valid. Just trading from this level to this level is a really good setup, a really good shot. So that's something I'll be watching. Now, I only have three names that's going to be on my close watch, which is AMD, NVIDIA, and Apple. Now, AMD, pre-market plan, pull back long to this 22730. You can already see buyers are defending this, stepping in here. That's what I love to see. We still haven't swept this previous day's low liquidity. So I wouldn't be surprised if, we felt this during the pre-market, swept that, and then we got something like this, a reclaim. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So just be mindful of that. But obviously we know we were looking for pullback longs on this name. This is really the A plus long. Give me one sec. This is really the A plus long. I'd rather take a long off of here compared to a long off this level, this 234.20. So we'll be watching this 22730 pullback long on AMD, NVIDIA. We can see buyers are really defending this. I broke this down yesterday on the daily. We keep getting a daily candle close above this. So I do want to be cautious around this level. We are bearish bias, but I just don't want to get caught in fake out or liquidity grab. So I am looking to short under 179.45. We are bearish bias, but I will be patient on this name to wait for like proper displacement and then a retest. I have to see sellers are saying I'm in control the same way we got that yesterday. So this is something I'll be watching. If we do fall a little bit during the pre-market or get that displacement during pre-market, then I'll look for that pop and fade. But I'm going to be very careful here. I know to short under this level, but I don't want to get caught in a fake out liquidity grab. This is a big deal. Look at this on the daily. Buyers stepping up down here. That's a very big deal. We have not gotten a daily candle close under this since I don't even know when, since last month. It's almost been a month. Today is the 23rd. That was the 25th. So yeah, it's almost been a month since we had a daily candle close under here. So being mindful of that. So obviously looking to short under this, but you can see buyers are already stepping up defending this. So just be cautious there. Nothing on Tesla. This is not even going to be on my close watch list. We are dead smack in the middle of the range. So there's nothing there. And then Apple. So you can see Apple really didn't do much pre-market after hours, uh, in between previous day high, previous day low. So what does that show us? We're just dead smack in the middle of the range. So that being said, I'm still just looking for trades off my key levels. Be looking for this 260.10. I would love for us to, melt to the downside and get this pullback off at 253, but I'm just going to take trades off my key levels. If this sets up off of 260.10, I'm just going to take that trade. But this is something that I am watching. This is the A plus long. I've been waiting for this. I thought we'll get that yesterday. Never did. We just came back to this Monday lows. We bounced. So we shall see. Today may be a chop day on this name or a pullback day, consolidation day, but you can see we're dead smack in between the previous day high and the previous day low, but this isn't my close watch. Nothing on Palantir, obviously. I've been saying this 177 is a valid level. It's a valid level. So if you want to get a break and retest over this level, that's a valid shot to the upside. Like I said, we are bearish bias when we fall under 169. So we're still sitting high, and we're bullish bias in the higher time frame on this name. And then Google. So Google pre-market, dead smack middle of the range, right? Previous day high, previous day low. But we are sitting in this channel. I don't really like that. Something that I do notice is, let's zoom out here. I want my pullback long off this 247.15. Look how clean these wicks are on this level. Here, 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 even all over here. So this is a key level that gets respected nicely, and it's just a better RR trade. Pull back long and look for that continuation higher. That's very valid. You can see the past 3-4 times that's happened. So this is the key level to look for pullback long. Hands off in here. This is just a no trade zone for me. So I'm only looking to go long on this name if we pull back to this 247.15 on Google. You see I have an alert here. But my close watch is just NVIDIA, Apple, and AMD. A couple more minutes here before market opens. Couple of things I wanted to also go over. So I mean, clearly we can see our 227.30 is holding up very valid. This is actually also the pre-market low. So this got respected on the dot. I love to see that during a pre-market. That's perfect. So just looking for this pullback on AMD, Apple. Starting to see some buyers step in. If we do break over this 260.10, I really like that just because this is also the pre-market high. So good little confluence there. That should give us a good momentum breakout. And this I really want to hit on here. So when I used to trade the break and retest or something like that, I used to get a little confused when price would open up in between the key level. Can't let that freak you out, right? Because one, I know I'm not going long on this name down here. So everything else is noise. If we get a rally to the upside, everything else is noise. And then two, even if a price opens, in between a key level or consolidating in between a key level, remember, we're still waiting for proper displacement to either side before we get that retest. I hope that makes sense. I want to hit on that. That used to confuse me a little bit when I was trading. See, we're getting this bounce. I don't really care about that. Like, we know we're not going long on this name, at least down here. So this is something I'm definitely watching here on NVIDIA. This move may have already happened. We'll see. Right now we're sitting at 228.80, and that was really our bounce off of 227.30. So we'll see if we'll get that pullback on AMD. And then you can see Qs. Look at these wicks here. Qs is bouncing and respecting off this the 602.87. So that bounce you see going on right now, that's that. But you can see we're dead smack middle of the range here. Previous day high, previous day low, and on the higher time frame. So gonna be patient here. We can see a little bit of morning downside if we fell under the 602.87. But if we do, we're just looking for this to pull back along to this 599. But I mean, this was respected perfectly. AMD, you can see that clearly. So hopefully we get a pullback here. We'll see. I will say, yeah, AMD is moving pretty much in sync with the Qs right now. So we'll see. A few minutes here till market open. So a lot of these things are giving a strong pop right now. You can see this is look what the Qs is doing. So main watch, maybe Apple. Apple breaks over this 260.10. It seems like it's always been Apple, but that's the only one that's really giving us setup. Clearly, NVIDIA is in the middle of no man's land. We're not trading in that channel. Solid break and retest over this will be valid. And unfortunately, this pullback long happened perfectly. Hopefully we get that. Something like a dip and rip on this name. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to trade AMD over Apple, to be honest, but if AMD sets up, I got to take that. Let's see. We'll see when market opens what this looks like. Right now it's 45, the delta, but we'll see when market opens. Let's see what AMD, see the delta difference on this name? Even two strike prices out of the money, it's still in the 40s. So I would really prefer an AMD trade, but I'm not going to force that. About 45 seconds here till market opens. Everything on the 15-minute looks very bullish. Buyer stepping in down here on the video, that should be no surprise to us. That's just at the bottom of the range. You can see Qs pretty much came in and bounced off the 602.87. So 10 seconds. This makes me happy. I actually like that. Because now if we break this, it's like a break and retest over the high day. I like that. I know I say this amount, but I kind of prefer a reaction at my key level, like a little bit of rejection or just seeing a little bit of seller step in before we get that retest. So this is something I like. If Apple does a setup today, that's honestly more than fine because I want this name to pull back to that 253. But there's some divergence here because buying the Qs, first 2-minute candle, it's very green. We're ignoring NVIDIA. Dead smack middle of the range. Let's see what AMD does. Yeah, that's pretty solid. So Qs in the middle of the range, in between the previous day high and previous day low, previous day high, previous day low. So Qs is just dead smack in the range. And if NVIDIA can break this 179.45, I like it. This is really the only name that I'm looking to short. This NVIDIA. It's the only name I'm looking to short. Qs look good on this 15-minute. You can see everything is kind of moving in sync with the Qs. I'm looking at Qs as well to my right on the 2-minute time frame. So looks solid. Qs look solid. SPY looks solid. But we are in the middle of the range. So just being mindful of that. That's what I say. Like it's for me personally, a little thing that I do is I really look at everything on the 15-minute until my key level gets hit. It just helps get a clear picture. It helps with patience, honestly. Because if price is moving or sitting or chopping and it's not near a key level, it's really just noise, to be honest. So it just helps get a clear picture when you zoom out. Even Apple right now, it's not necessarily dead smack in the middle of the range, but it kind of is in between the previous day high, the previous day low, and then the pre-market high and pre-market low. So this is the pre-market high actually in this candle. So we saw yesterday this was holding that support, and then now you can see a little bit of resistance just like that. So this is a big key level here that's being respected. Qs looks good. If I get the 607.15 break, I will be looking to trade that for sure. I broke down in my video yesterday. There's just a lot of thin volume in here. We never sit in here. It's just either straight up or straight down. So it's a good observation. It's a shot I'm willing to take. I'm trading with the overall higher time frame. It'll be a break over the pre-market high as well. It's a good shot if it sets up. There's nothing in here though. We know that. There's nothing in here. And the Q's trying to move higher though, for sure. Now, AMD is it's something like Apple. To me, it's just what I mean by that is the price action. AMD is another name where it's like I enter this trade, I know it's going to move slow a little bit, or it's going to consolidate a little bit. It moves better on the underlying compared to Apple, but that's something I do know. So we'll be patient on this name. They respect it perfectly. I mean, that's perfect off this key level. We can get a pullback along here. I like it, but if we move higher, I'm not surprised. We already technically retested that. Clearly, you see Qs. It's moving. So if this falls under with displacement, I like it. I mean, that's NVIDIA falling to the downside, and clearly Qs is rallying to the upside. Qs look solid on the 15. So I am watching the Qs as well for a trade. Qs looks really good, to be honest. And actually, this has the cleanest price action. So So beautiful here on AMD, right? We got that break and retest during the pre-market. Nothing we can really do about that. And your profit target here would just be the top of this range. I would love for us to gravitate up there just so we can see the visual of just like key level to key level, break and retest. And then the market's pushing. So AMD also has the market behind it. That's amazing. Sometimes we don't get those retests where they happen right during pre-market. So nothing here on NVIDIA. And then really just a chop on SPY. It's not sitting near key level, breaking through the low day. This can really go anywhere. It hasn't swept the previous day high or the previous day low. So as of now, on the 2 minute, not a single red down close candle on the SPY or the Qs. Super solid, super solid. SPY and Qs looks great. Now, since I said there's a lot of thin volume after we break 607.15, I wouldn't be surprised if we just like broke through that and not get a retest. But I like the confluence at this level. This is also, a pre-market high, which shows me this was a key level that was respected during the pre-market and the after hour on the dot. So I am watching this name to the upside. Beautiful here on AMD. Like break, retest. That's beautiful. Sucks we didn't get that, but it is what it is. So SPY sitting at 669.20. We got to wick off that key level on the dot actually. So let's see. The two cleanest names is AMD and Qs. Now, a break and retest over this would be valid, but like I said, we're targeting all-time highs in the top of this range. This is the better RR trade. I'd rather be in a long position down here before getting up here where all the heavy supply is. So really my main watch right now is really just the Qs. I would love to see like a reaction off this, like the 607. I'd love to see like something like this, right? And then that's something I would love to see. Or at least one down close candle. This is beautiful on AMD. Super unfortunate we did not get this move. Right off the pre-market plan, right off our key level on the dot. Happened at 610 market open. That's it. So 20 minutes before market open, we got that. It's very unfortunate. You can clearly see, um, compared to the tech names, the relative strength AMD has. Like I said, this name is upside bullish for sure. We've only had one down close red candle, which was our first one. Unfortunately, we missed that move. Like something like this, I like. Uh, it's 642 on the dot, so hopefully this closes red. But right now, this that you see is this is SPY rejecting 66920 on the dot. Yep, that's SPY rejecting that, so we'll see. Right, good break, retest, down close candle. I guess this first minute candle could have been an order block. Solid. If Nvidia wants to break under this 179.45, I'm gonna be very careful, because this thing has been it's just been faking out. Like yesterday we got under that, but you never know when buyers are gonna step in aggressively on this name. So if it does, I'm gonna just be like very conservative, just waiting for like a clear sign that sellers are in control. That way, if I lose that trade, I can say, okay, it was a good loss. But like a weak breaking base, I'm not taking that. Look at this. See, like this looks good, and then buyers just reclaim this level, which is momentum. So, and then you got the Qs and the SPY pushing to the upside right now. So let's see. So far, chop here on Apple. If Apple does like a V-shaped recovery and then reclaims over this, that's solid. And that would be a break of structure. This is the high day, so we'll see something like that. It's a Thursday, so if the trade sets up on Apple, uh, I would hope those comps move a little bit more. There we go. So big breakout here on the 66920 on the SPY. Yeah, I would say that the SPY and the Q's price action is actually, yeah, in sync. For both of them, the 642 candle is both a red down close candle. So these two names are actually in sync. So if SPY can clear to 66920, there's really nothing in Q's way. There's really nothing in Q's way. This would have been a really good shot. This went from 227.30 to 231.83. Those comps are definitely in the money with momentum too. So 645. Obviously, I have to wait for this candle to close. I like the displacement here. I like it on the retest. SPY's pulling back, so this thing is in sync pretty well. That's why we're patient. But like I said, this is something I want to see though. Like I actually want to see this, right? Reaction at this level. We'll see. Wait for proper displacement. The candle closed at body of the candle closed at 607.38. Our key level is 607.15. This is normal. It's almost 650, and we're finally getting this is our second down close candle. So this thing is stair stepping higher. Just gotta be patient here. And it is 100% in sync with the SPY. Chop on Nvidia, chop on Apple. This was really the best setup. I was hoping we got that dip and rip, but never did. The bigger the displacement, the better. Prime example of what I mean by breaking base. I don't want to see a breaking base. I want to see like clear displacement. If we can break over this swing high, then I'll look at that retest. You can see wicks are sitting here at this 42 cent marker. Give me a sec. So this is really just a 27 cent breakout. That's the breakout I'm looking for. Solid. Well, if we get a candle close. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, the SPY and the Qs are like in sync right now. Every candle is pretty much the exact same. 189. You can see it's holding that support. We see the damage body tells the story, but I just need more displacement here. That's the displacement I'm looking for. Now I'm open to a retest. That's solid. I'm looking for a retest now. Like I said, right? This is a lot of thin volume in here. If we just run through here, I would not be surprised. I said that before we even broke out of here. So price just goes straight up in here and straight down. I would not be surprised if we don't get a retest. Broke that down together. So this is exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I meant. If we get over this, I'm hands off because now we're just back in that channel. Like I said, you already want to be long before we get in there. So it's really nothing there for me. AMD still stepping higher. Looks really good. Yep. Maybe a cash day for me. This is no surprise. That was something that I observed and I saw, and I was just like, we keep ripping through here. This is no surprise. So I'm happy we called this before it happened. I couldn't take that instant break and retest with like a 20 set displacement breakout. There's no way I'm doing that on a 0 DTE. But this is what I mean when I say there's a lot of thin volume in here that has to be filled. Straight up equals straight down. So this name looks really good. We possibly could even see all-time highs today. Since we've opened, we've only had 2 red down close candles, respected perfectly at our key level. The displacement is the most important, so I'm not taking that breakout. AMD, gone. Nothing there. That's what I mean by sometimes you don't get the retest, but that's crazy. We called that on the dot. Zoom out on the 15-minute, look left, and you'll see in between 609 and 607, there's nothing going on in there. Unfortunate, didn't get that. It's definitely 100% trade, no doubt about that. Yeah, I think we may see all-time highs today, definitely with the with SPY. SPY is rallying right now. It's at 670.78, and all-time highs is 673.10. So let's see. Beautiful analysis here on AMD. Very unfortunate we couldn't get that trade, but it is what it is. If we get a break and retest over this, I'm not going to touch that just because we'll be back in that channel. Same thing like I said on the Qs and the SPY. You already want to be in a long position when we get back up here. So really nothing for me. Only 6 minutes of down close candles on AMD since market open. Sometimes you get these, sometimes you don't. As we know, like I'm not taking a break in base. I need a clear displacement. We saw sellers, pushing this thing down at this 40 cent level. So for me, it just wasn't enough displacement. Damn, that's annoying. I haven't touched AMD in a while, so I was really looking for this trade. Sometimes you just don't get them. Great analysis, you just don't get them sometimes. Yeah, that's annoying. If we break over this 234.20, I don't really plan on touching that. Like it's valid, possibly. There's been volume in here, but right, it's valid. So I mean by cues, like of course you can take this as a scalp, you can target here, but you already want it to be long down here. So you can see on SPY and the Qs and AMD, we pretty much got that retest on our levels pre-market. And that's why when we opened, it was just straight upside. So I hope that makes sense. AMD could be a valid one, but I mean, yeah, it could be. We could see resistance. I mean, support, resistance, and then if we can turn this back into support, that would be valid. It's still a good RR trade, but I just don't like this channel. But something I do notice is look at all the straight down, straight up. That's valid for sure. Like something like the Qs, I probably would have preferred just because it's a 0 DTE with clean price action. Those things are going to pay you. Like to each their own, but for me, this was not a break and retest. That's not displacement. The candle closed here, but that wasn't displacement. This was the displacement, and then look for that. So to me, this was just like a breakout, breaking base. That was not a break and retest, but to each their own.
Yeah.
So you can clearly see like AMD is, yeah, you can clearly see like AMD is pretty bullish. I mean, it's very strong. Even a little divergence here, like you can see Q's is pulling back a little, and AMD is not. So we can have orange floating news at 7, which is pretty much in a minute and 30 seconds here. Um, we'll see. If AMD gives me enough displacement, I'll like that. I mean, this is 12 minutes of straight up stuff. Sucks. This is pretty much 100% trade, right? These contracts would be deep in the money. You got in at 227.30. You managed this. We're about 234. Still moving. That's a step of balance shot. Beautiful reaction here for our key level on the dot. Look at that on the dot. Key level to key level. All right, key level to key level. These are the trades we've been looking for. We've been taking, we haven't been getting it on Apple. Obviously not knowing Tesla on NVIDIA. All around right now it's just fairly slow. Out of our really tech name rotation, the two names that's out of the picture for a while now is NVIDIA and Tesla. So what does that leave us with? AMD and Apple. Maybe if we trade, Google, there's nothing going on Palantir. So it's kind of so like this is like really what we've been looking for. It doesn't get better than that. Every dip getting bought up. It's exactly what you want to see. It's not really my job to like predict a move, but even a break and retest over here, I feel like, I mean, if we're gonna trend, we're gonna trend. But I feel like the move is a little bit like already exhausted. I wouldn't necessarily say extended. It's only been the first 3 minutes of market open, but it has been just straight up. Oh, that's got to be a misprint. Yeah, that's got to be a misprint. So we did have orange folder new that's 7. Nothing going on here on Apple. This is a SPY pulling back to 66920. It's a good move on Qs. This thing went from 607 to 608.85. Key level getting respected here on the dot. Yeah, that one's a little frustrating. This move happening, but it's on the video. There's nothing there. It's really just the main watch here. It's just AMD to be honest. And be strong, because yeah, and be solid right now, bro. 8 minutes. It's down close candles worth. Only 8 minutes. It's crazy. I mean, this thing is in play to all-time highs, so it's fine the Qs, but this move already happened. Like at this point, you want to be scaling out when you see reactions here. It's in play. It's a lot of thin volume in here. Support, resistance. I want to see this turn back into support. See these wicks up here. And we're just sitting. See these sellers? This is a key level for a reason. That's beautiful. It's a key level for a reason. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. It's kind of what I mean. I mean, not really, but this is what I mean when I say like the move kind of already happened. That was just straight up. We got the retest during pre-market. This is the trade. And then you scale out here, and then you just be, 10% your runners. If you let those stop you off for break even, I mean, this thing could really turn into a potential swing trade and then just gravitate higher. Like right at this point, this should be a stress-free trade. This is a green trade that can't go red. You're already out. You manage this. And then you just see how far your runners can take you and see if it can, gravitate towards that all-time high. Momentum slowed down here a little bit, and this is 0 DTE, so I'm probably just going to pass on this. Even if we do retest this, I'm probably just going to pass on that. Safest option is just AMD. What you see right here is SPY retesting 66920. If you go back and mark out these two key levels, you'll see that that's literally insane. Right now, SPY is retesting the 66920. If SPY bounces there, we can see a bounce here on the Qs. Beautiful day on AMD. I mean, if you're the trader who trades like a 1-minute ORB, I think that would have been solid for you. But what's the better RR off a key level? Like 230.34 is not a key level. It's an intraday level. It's not a key level that was created on the higher time frame. If that makes sense. This is valid, to be honest. It's a valid, like this order block. Price didn't really tap back into it, but this is a valid long targeting the swing high. But momentum died down on a zero. I'm not really messing with that. This was like really the better move that I was looking for. Like, you could take a trade off this order block, this down close, and just risk right under that level still. That's a very valid trade. 710 for me. Might be a cash day. Might be a cash day. For the fun of it, let's see what Tesla's doing. Like I said this yesterday. Like I said, I'm hands off this name. Good V-shaped recovery. If you wanted to take a trade off this level, you're literally just playing the gap fill. Go watch the pre-market live video. I said that you're really playing this gap fill because we're still bullish to the higher time frame on the higher time frame. What have I been saying? 410 has been holding this name up. This is not a coincidence that we pull back here and buyer step up. 410 is what's keeping Tesla bullish. So we are bullish bias on this name, 100%. If you took like a reclaim or 5-minute or whatever, high day, break and retest, however you want to play it, this would be a gap fill play. That's pretty valid. That's a good RR. But it's a Thursday. I'm not messing with that. And we're dead smack in the middle of the range. I'm not touching this name. So SPY is filling this 66920. Like we're already pretty exhausted. Like a 0 DTE kind of this late into the session. Well, it's not late, but you get what I mean. Like now this just is no longer the risk for me. I don't care to take that risk on this trade. It already happened. You can play next week on, target this, to trend your friend, see buyer stepping in, but SPY looks a little heavy. But for me, like the move already happened. I'm not looking to mess with this on the zero. This is no surprise to us. Kilo will get respect on the dot. You see that here on the 15. It's no surprise to us. I've been saying it's heavy up here. It's heavy up here. This is what I mean when I say you already want to be long before we get back into this channel. I hope that makes sense. That's just a better RR trade, better risk management. Like even if this holds and pushes up, nah, SPY's falling pretty heavy right now. Well, it's retesting to 66920, but even if we hold this up, I'm good. Like at this point, it's not worth a trade for me on a zero. To each their own. The only thing I would really risk taking a shot on is AMD because it's not a zero. You clearly see you could have taken a shot. I don't want to take that anymore. Like now we're just sitting in this channel. Like I don't want that. I'm good. Maybe SPY on a reclaim, but SPY's trying to get back over. So that could have been a valid shot for sure. But now I'm not really liking the divergence of SPY and the Qs. So to each their own. Remember, I said there's a difference between missing a trade and skipping a trade. I didn't care to take this anymore. Kind of saw that little bit of sell off. Like this, I'm willing to take. I'll take this. It's just safer than a zero. Like I want to be in that. At least on an AMD shot, I can be comfortable and kind of sit in this trade. And then SPY's it's fighting to hold over this 66920. So I don't like that. So now it's a little bit divergence between the SPY and the Qs, just a little bit. SPY contracts cost like $1 more. Like this is the only candle I would have been comfortable like that pop. Once this thing starts moving slow and sideways, I don't want. I'm not messing with that. Only reason I passed on this is because SPY's just a little heavy. You can clearly see our 607.15 get respected. Beautiful break, retest. See this 15-minute forming here on AMD downside. Sellers are starting to, I'm sorry, buyers are starting to step in here on Apple. AMD and the Qs, it's pretty exhausted now. This is what we had at open on the Qs. That's what we had at open. AMD, straight shot. So I can get over that. That's a breaker structure. I'm sorry, Apple. And that's exactly why I want to take that on 0 DTE. SPY is a little heavy now. SPY is heavier than the Qs actually. SPY's not that far away from lower day. Like this level's holding, but those big pullbacks, those are gonna crush you on a zero. So that's exactly why I passed that trade. I just did not care to take that. Levels being respected, love it, but it's hard to do that on a zero. And then for those who are wondering, why I never play the next day expiration, just for me, these contracts don't SPY and the Qs don't move that much on the dollar range amount, like in an intraday. On average, it moves about what 5 to 6, 5 to 7, and that's a good day. So those contracts really won't do much. It's kind of just like trading Apple in a way. So they'll give you a little bit of push since the expiration date is closer, but that's pretty much why. I'd rather just play a zero and just get in and get out and take maybe a quick 20, 10, 30% trade and just get in and get out. But our level's holding 607.15. Would love to see that. SPY is just a little too heavy for me. Nothing dead smack middle of the range. It's nothing there. Solid. This is actually clean price action until it starts to stall, but resistance, break, retest off this 177.05. I've been saying this, I got to give credit when it's due. This 177.05 has been a very clean level to take a trade off of. Look at this turn from resistance straight into support. Just, it's exactly what you want to see. So, hope that makes sense on why I didn't go long there on the Qs. Good decision. Would have been a good scalp. If I went long this candle, that would have been a good scalp, but just not worth the risk to me. And then an IWM. You can see how much I don't trade this name, but see, we had a channel form. Look at the break and retest on this channel. Beautiful downside. Let's see, what are we doing now? Yeah, now hood is bearish on the higher time frame. Now we're making a lower low. So now you can be bearish bias on this name. That's valid. Bullish on the day. That breakthrough we got, unfortunately didn't get that. But seeing a little rejection here is not a surprise. I mean, we're pushing into the 609. Price basically pushed up to 609. Yeah, so seeing a rejection here is not really a surprise, to be honest. And then I'll show you the SPY. So this is why I was hands off on the SPY, right? This is why I said the better long is to be like in a long position before we get in this channel. This rejection is not a surprise because look where we are. We're just back in that. It's not a shocker. So look promising. I think this is, how many times has this happened? 673.95. Yeah. What is this? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday looked a little promising, but right on the dot. Just heavy resistance up here, right on the dot. Like I said, you can scout. You can for sure look for that, but that's just taking every setup. Like you don't want to take every trade. You just want to take the highest probability. This was our no trade zone just because we're dead smack in between the previous day high and the low. Like there's just nothing there. So now we're consolidating a little bit. Yeah. So, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. The weeks, man, this week started off very promising. I mean, it's not over. I mean, the market doesn't look bad. But look at how Monday opened. Like Monday was just, that was beautiful. Followed up by consolidation. That's normal consolidation, followed up by a bigger day, and then another consolidation day after a big day. I hope you're catching these patterns. Like whenever we have a trending day in the market, it normally is followed up by a choppy day. So for those who like trade off key levels, if you're able to like catch this, right, um, you would be out 90% here. This is a very big win. And you would let, if you really wanted to, like to get that continuation, you would just let your runners take you out for like break even. That's not going to do anything really to your P&L. Because if this turns into a swing trade and like we go to the top of this range and then make all-time highs, as you know with your runners, I mean that 10% position itself could possibly make you more than your entire position. So this was a solid day on AMD. All right, look, key level to key level. I've been saying we're not looking to short this name, even though we're sitting sideways a little bit. We're just looking for pullback longs. Down here, these are the A plus longs. We don't want to go long when we're already at all-time highs. Same thing with Apple. Like this 260, it's valid. Like I'm cool with that, as we still can gravitate towards all-time high. But I would love like a pullback long off this 253. That's a potential really swing trade and like sit in that and let it play out. Apple really only had one solid day this week, which was actually the best day it had was kind of yesterday. That was the only day where we actually got a trade off our key level. Monday we got that, made all-time highs. Tuesday we followed that up by making another all-time high, but we were not near key level. And then yesterday we got the pullback to this 260.10, and then today pretty much just doing nothing. So yesterday was our only day on Apple that we took a trade off our key level. Right? That's when you let your trades come to you. You be patient and only trade off your key levels. Like I see this as a dip. Like this is a dip to push this thing higher. We still haven't broken structure. It's just straight up pull back long. I mean, this is trending. Look at this. This is stair stepping higher. This thing's solid. Solid pull back long. Beautiful. Like I said, not messing with this anymore on the 0DT. Like, look at this price action. I don't want that. But if you take my advice and you play next day's cons, you would have never got stopped out. Wish you the damage body tells the story. Targeting this swing high. That's a great trade. If you took that, it's a great trade. Beautiful. For me, the move already happened. This was really the move, right? I want to ride that momentum wave, especially on a zero. I don't want to sit in this. I don't care about a pullback and hold in. You're going to be down, right? Like you got to remember that. You're going to be down pretty big on a slight pullback just due to the premiums and theta. So you really can't afford to sit through this drawdown and pull back all the way down here on a zero and then push higher. But beautiful, break, retest. targeting here. That's solid. Good infrastructure here on Apple. It's already 7:30 for me. I did catch it here. And then I keep preaching it. What happened when we fell at this level? This fuel to the upside is not a surprise. When we reclaim it with that fuel, that's not a surprise. Yeah, there's not much going on. Dead smack range. I've been saying videos. It's been getting people down here. It's been respecting this level. It's been getting people down there. So we saw pre-market buyers step up here, push this thing higher. Not surprised. I really want to accuse, but I was not going to FOMO into that. We just didn't get our retest around here. This was the value trade. Clean momentum, clean price action to the upside. Once we start chopping a little bit, right, that's going to bring the premium spikes down. I don't want to deal with that on a zero. Great for scalping. Great for scalping, for sure. And then obviously once we reclaim the 609.70, I'm hands off in here. There's nothing in there. See the price action once we sit in a channel versus not in a channel? Take notes on this. That's a big deal. Look at the difference. Not in a channel, sitting in a tight channel. It's a very big difference there. Now keep in mind, we are still in between the previous day high and previous day low, so technically price has not moved higher or lower. It has not moved higher or lower. Yeah, this was really the A plus today. It was AMD and it was Qs over 607.15. I just never got that retest there. You want to avoid these. You're going to lose more than you'll win on that. An instant break and retest. When you take that, you're thinking, okay, I'll take the break and retest. But you'll lose more than you win because that's not showing that buyers are in control. When you take an instant break and retest, you're really just playing momentum. That's really all you're playing is a momentum play. See this displacement? And then look at the retest. That's a break and retest. That's solid. Nothing on Apple. Now, patient pace. Yesterday was Wednesday. It's the only time we took a trade on Apple. Why? Because that's the only time it came to our key level and gave us a setup. We ignored it here. We never got that retest. We did end up, no, we didn't fill that gap. You can see, made all-time highs. That's why I said it's very hard to trade at an all-time high. That's why I just don't even touch it. So I ignored it on Tuesday. We took our shot yesterday. We were looking for that today, but nothing. But look at the pattern here that I just broke down like on the SPY. Trendy day, consolidation. Trendy day, consolidation. That's normal. So whenever you have a big trend day, you can expect it to be followed up by consolidation day, right? This is no coincidence. See that? So Apple being Apple, I wouldn't be surprised if it gives us a play on a Friday. Same thing here. Trendy day, choppy day. Trendy day, choppy day. Right? That's no coincidence. One thing I love about AMD is, I mean, this thing has been moving. It really has been moving. Like, look at the price action. Hasn't really been too many sideways days. Yeah, we're in a channel, but price is moving for sure. But this is where, your big wins come from. Key levels. Now, we just saw this in real time together. Look at this. Support, we broke, retested today, turn that into resistance. Support, resistance. Old support turns into new resistance. Really that simple. So this is no surprise. We broke this yesterday. We never got a retest. This is your retest. Now, of course, we're not looking to short this name, but just seeing how these key levels just get respected perfectly. Letting your trades come to you. Like, these are big key levels in the higher time frame where the big money sits. That's why price travels key level to key level. That's not a coincidence that we were very bullish to the upside, and as soon as we approach 234.20, price stalls and pulls back. That's not a coincidence. Now, it's only 7:30. I mean, we got plenty of hours left. But if AMD wants to stay under 234.20 today, man, I like this. This is a good confluence. a lot of thin volume, and that would be the previous day high. That would be a A plus shot, in my opinion, going into tomorrow. Just playing all this thin volume fill here. See, we ended up getting that pullback long, pre-market, beautiful shot. That's 35 here. I'm pretty much going to call it. Look at the cues. We're just in this channel. So we're just kind of consolidating. Remember, we're bullish, right? We're bullish. We're not looking to short this name, but you can't play around with zeros, in these type of conditions. Can't. If you caught this on an instant break and retest, that's great. Hopefully you were smart enough to just sell into that push and not be greedy. We saw buyer step up here. You saw me skip this trade for a reason. To me, that was a good pass. Right? That would have hurt, even though we held and our stop loss never really got hit. Just with theta and premiums like that would have hurt. That's for sure more than a 20% loss. Like that's a big loss there. So we'll see the divergence is there though. I would say Qs is more strong than the SPY. This you don't want to be in that. Right? This was the beauty. This was looking like a Monday morning that we have this week. That's what I was thinking about, like just a beautiful upside Monday morning. This was Monday morning, just beautiful. Break, retest, clean price action, clean, just nice. That's what you want to see on a zero. So understanding how to read price action and when to step on the gas and the brakes, that will help you a ton. If we get back into this no trade zone, I'm not surprised. No shocker there. All right, well, I'm gonna call it here. Patience pays. Nothing hit our key level, so we didn't take any trade. Our only solid setup was Qs, and we never got a retest. So what do? We skipped the trade. Like you see this upside, that's what I was looking for right here, around 648. From here to there, because even if you caught this is 100% trade for sure. That's a big trade, especially with momentum push to the upside. That's a good shot. But for me, not worth the risk. And then we're going back into this channel, so then I'm really hands off. And then you can see why SPY is acting the way that it is. It's not much going on today. The high day is 670, the lower day is 667. Zoom out here on the 15, we're just back in this channel. That's why SPY wasn't on my radar anyway. Because we're back in the channel up here, and then this was just dead smack in the middle of the range. So patient pace. Tomorrow we'll see what sets up. I think going into tomorrow, Apple and AMD look solid, but like I said earlier, it's just been slow all around because out of the tech names that we have in rotation, we're only trading two now, which is just Apple and AMD. Tesla's gone. There's nothing going on Tesla. And then NVIDIA. There's nothing going on NVIDIA. So, if you take your intraday setups, kudos to you, right? By all means. I know some people do, but it's just you're practicing bad habits, low key. Like if you take a high date break and retest, yeah, that's gonna pay you. But long term, I'm always thinking about my next 100 trades. Like long term, you'll lose more than you'll win. And then the better RR trades is off of off these key levels, especially with a small account. I'm telling you, like with a small account, I'm not looking to scalp. I'm not looking for a quick 6-7%. Yeah, base hits, compound interest, yeah, it adds up. But these are the better RR trades, like you just saw in AMD. That's really going to pay you, and you just sit in your trades and you manage them with one contract, with two contracts, and just let it run. So teach your own. Yeah, it's not going on there. All right, slow day. Slow day. Q's is getting some momentum now. Like I said, we still got some hours. I mean, that would be cool if it made a new all-time high. You can see our 607 held perfectly on the dot. It's nice. That was really nice. Right, retest. Nice. Already hit this high day. You want to see that turn into support and then move higher. So, all right. I'm gonna call it here. Computer will win a thing or two.